Hey, good morning, or actually good afternoon, folks. Welcome aboard Top Gun Options Monday market outlook out here in Vegas. So it is morning for me when we're getting this on the air out here for the was it Money Show, Traders Expo, one of those things. So looking forward to the events today, networking and seeing a lot of old friends and making some new ones. I want to thank you for all the Veterans Day, the nice words and all that stuff. I really appreciate it. It was an honor to serve, and I'd do it again tomorrow, and very proud that I'm raising two boys who want to serve their country. So thanks for all the kind words. It really meant a lot. Okay, now we're down 450 points. Volatility's through the roof. There's a there's a lot of reasons. We'll get to the domestic shit show down in South Florida in a couple minutes, and the absolute illegalities and literally the stealing of an election from the Democrats. Obviously, the markets don't like that. But the president was overseas to commemorate the 100th anniversary of the ending of World War I, and what a just absolute smack in the face before, the guy lands. The president of France, Macron, says, "Hey, we need to come up with kind of a European army to defend against Russia, China, and yeah, the United States." What an absolute smack in the face from this man bun limousine liberal, Euro trash. Why don't you drive down to Normandy there, Chief, and take a look at all those white crosses and stars of David from U.S. forces that liberated and saved your ass numerous times. And I'll leave it at that. But what a smack in the face! Obviously, you do something like that to Donald Trump, he ain't going to sit there and take that. So he blasted it back. First of all, you're not even paying your fair share of us defending you against China and the United States, but now you want to come up with some shit show European army? Knock yourself out, man. So they tried to put the past behind us, and then liberals in the United States were frothing at the mouth because the president didn't go to the World War I ceremony. Hey, shit for brains. Marine One can't fly in absolutely all weather. Okay, it's not an all weather attack aircraft, ladies and gentlemen. So the Marine, the air crew of Marine One decided to make that call, and of course, liberals in the media here use it as an opportunity to attack the president. If to have driven there, ladies and gentlemen, it would have tied up traffic throughout most of France for the entire day, and let's see how you would have handled that as well. So please, just your hypocrisy is stifling. But the other reason, so the market ain't digging what's going on internationally. We'll get to the trade war, which might turn into a hot war, especially when you got your quote unquote allies saying they need to defend themselves against China. But Peter Navarro really blistering take on what's going on with China. Hey man, this deal is going to be on the president's terms, not Wall Street terms or anybody else's. Really, really blistering speech. So we're not even talking to the Chinese folks. We're hoping that the president and Xi Jinping meet at the G20 and have dinner and maybe brush some of this over, but that's December 1st, folks. It's November 12th. We got 3 weeks of an absolute clown car of us not even talking. Jim Cramer still licking the wounds after the Eagles getting smacked down last night from the Cowboys. We are at war against the Chinese, and it's not just over trade. I've been briefing this for years, ladies and gentlemen. Under Barack Hussein Obama, China expanded their country 600 miles into the middle of the Pacific as Barack Hussein Obama did nothing and just sat there. This president is sailing our fleet right through the middle of those disputed waters to let China know that ain't their country. And if you think that's your country, start shooting at us. So the president's playing hardball here, folks, and it's in our best interest. We rolled over for 8 years. The president did a bowing tour. He literally flew around the world and bowed and kissed the ring of the Saudi king and apologized for American exceptionalism. And what did that get us? It got us more people even killed. So this is the global stage is not stable right now. Along with the Iranian sanctions kicking in, it's going to be very, very ugly. Iran's not going to sit there and take it. And Mike Pompeo, our Secretary of State, really giving them both barrels too. Iran's leadership must decide, hey, if your people want to eat, you need to stop your nuclear program. Another great gift of Barack Hussein Obama. Really strong dollar, folks, is really not going to help issues around the world. So that's another reason global markets are in turmoil. We also have the Brexit, the non-Brexit, the Brexit again on tap, Italy's financial shit show, and obviously our trade tensions are making the U.S. dollar what? It's the best thing in a bad neighborhood, which is good, but it's also bad. It's really bad here for equities. So that's another reason you're seeing this volatility. Oil, finally a little bit of green out of oil. Oil jumps as OPEC moves to closer to cutting output. That's what drives prices higher. Last week it was, hey, oil's imploding below 60. Oil's in a bear market. Oh my God, cats and dogs living together. Mass hysteria. Now this week, this is why, whenever you're in a crude trade, so to speak, you got to hang out, because literally one day or a difference of one day can mean a lot. What's ExxonMobil doing today? That's flat. That's awesome. As the market's getting absolutely obliterated, ExxonMobil's trying to kind of hanging out here. So I like our ExxonMobil trade, like a bull put spread here, and also like a bear call spread. But that's the headline that says it all, folks. The Dems win the Arizona Senate race after finding a bunch of Democratic ballots. And I'm sick of Republicans trying to tiptoe around it. And wow, surprising that all these found ballots are Democrats. Oh, surprise. Shut up and talk normal. It's fraud. The fact that the president didn't send in the United States Marshals to arrest this lady, or the Governor Scott's an idiot in Florida. Now, I've lost all respect for the man. A judge ruled last week she broke the law. As soon as you hear those words, that an official broke the law, why didn't he send in the Florida Department of Law Enforcement and put that lady in handcuffs? And now last night, the Florida airport, Fort Lauderdale airport, was closed for hours because somebody found a box of ballots at Avis. You can't make this shit up, folks. So after it was Kavanaugh, we thought they'd grow up and stop being such a disgraceful political party, and now you have this. So, the markets loved, folks. The markets loved 54 Republicans in the Senate. Now it's an absolute clown car. And you have, all these sub-headlines on the Drudge Report that here goes Congress. They're not going to legislate. They're going to investigate. So we're going to have Trump's going to have a 2-year re-election commercial as Democrats do nothing but go after the man. The markets do not like this, folks. This is not going to be good for the markets. You want stocks to go up, you put Republicans in office, and that's the truth. That's why I predicted Trump was going to win and the market was going to rally, and everybody else got it wrong, and we got it right here at TGO. So stocks slide, dragged lower by the tech sector too, because Apple absolutely imploded. I told you guys to get out of all of these fangs. Every fang is awful. And look, good old Facebook. Why they fired one of their the Oculus founder. The Oculus founder, Facebook fired him. You know where they fired him? Because he voted for Trump and he donated to Trump. Here's your limousine liberal tolerant companies, folks. It's absolutely insane. These FANG companies are a disgrace. They're not even American. So the president leaving no filter. Trump blames market drop on Democrats harassing the market. The dude's right. Love him or hate him, the guy's right. You want this type of volatility and swings in the market to go back down. And look at Goldman Sachs. Goldman Sachs is at a 1-year low. I told you guys to get out of all those blue blood banks as well. I bailed out of JP Morgan like 8 months ago, saying that this is, holy crap, down 7% today. There's Goldman. I told you guys a year ago, man, get out of all these. I said, get out of the fangs and get out of the blue blood banks, because they're not going to wake up at all. They got a long road ahead of them, even when the Fed start raising interest rates here. So. All right, let me get into the trade that I actually sent out. This is kind of my Monday market outlook, but I'm going to kill two birds with one stone, since I got to get going here and go network, meet some traders, get some intel, which is really good. We got a lot of good folks out here. But I said we're going to, as we had this rip your face off rally, we sold into it. I said this is not going to hold. Markets don't do this. They do not. They don't take the. So markets take the escalator up, right, and then they took the window down. We weren't going to take the. An elevator back up here, folks. I predicted last week to sell into this rally, this rip your face off rally. I said we will come back and test the 200-day moving average. And what did I say? You can cut and paste what we did this time back over here. But at the end of this shopping around the 200-day moving average, I think we move higher, right? Hopefully. And the president, the only president in my lifetime who tweets, first of all, but it talks about the stock market. The guy knows he's got to pull a rabbit out of his hat soon to get rid of this volatility, whether it's with China. Actually, China is the biggest thing that he can remove from this market in the overhang. And he could have actually been the chief law enforcement officer of this country and sent in the FBI, whoever the hell would have jurisdiction on it. It's and oh, by the way, the Democrats are demanding that illegal immigrant votes be not immigrants, just non-citizens. They are suing to let non-citizens vote in the election. Folks, if you try to vote in another country's election, you end up in jail. Here, Democrats end up elected. So we're going to chop around this 200-day moving average for this foreseeable future. We're going to do this. Volatility's back, baby. But that's going to lead me to our weekly options trade. So let's bring up volatility. Remember, folks, when volatility is cheap, you buy it. When it's expensive, you sell it. So here's the volatility being elevated, but it's based on the market being down 400 or 500 points, folks. I'd expect VXX to be up at least double digits. It's not. The market is a little exhausted right here with volatility being so high. I think by Friday, I'm going to send out, I already sent out a weekly options trade. It should be in your email box. And then this video will be posted on the page as well. I sent out an email. Matter of fact, I'm meeting my techie here. He's out here in Vegas in a little bit. To work on the texting system. But as I fired that email, guys, I looked at my Gmail box, 1, 2, boom. 2 seconds later, it was in my Gmail box. So the emails are firing as quick as, if not the same as text. I'm looking to sell 150 of Friday's 35.5 calls, okay? The VXX right here, here's this gap down. 35.5 might be resistance here. I know it's Monday. These kind of rip your face off implosion Mondays. Sometimes we get a rebound Tuesday. I'm looking for a quick strike tactical trade on this. That volatility, in fact, is going to come in. Something's going to happen this week, guys. Remember, I call this dog market. 1 hour is 7 days, man. 1 hour in this market. I mean, between now and Friday is going to be a world of time for volatility to come back in. Some good news on oil. The president doing a random, hey, I picked up the phone, or we're going to get a deal done on China, or the market whisperer come out, or the certainty around the elections, right? Right now it's uncertain. It's horrific. I've never seen anything like it, from the Kavanaugh stuff. Anybody hearing about that Trump mail bomber? Or the caravan, right? All this shit that the Democrats have, they can't win elections, folks. So they import people to vote for them, or they just steal it. They break the law, and nobody does anything about it. I'm telling you, man, it's getting very close to the point where patriots are going to start doing shit about it. We did this once before, guys. I have no problem doing it again. I believe in a well-regulated militia, and you're seeing the exact reasons why. Because when the government can't step in and do what is right, the American people will. We've done it. We did it before. We'll do it again. Selling the 35.5 calls, that's me saying, hey, by Friday, there's a distinct possibility, guys, that volatility goes higher this week on some sort of shit show. But I'm saying by Friday, this thing should go through the goalpost. I believe volatility is going to come in, waking up to a 450-point down day down out here in Vegas. It ain't a thrill, but again, we predicted this. This was known. I said, we are coming back down to the 200-day moving average. Watch all the replays on the member areas, or even the sit reps from last week, and I said that. I said, sell into this. We're heading back down to retest this support right here, and it's going to look exactly like that. Well, what if I'm wrong? Trump says something stupid, something happens, China, whatever, and volatility spikes again, and VXX goes through the roof. Well, it's going to suck, but we're long these calls. We're going to buy 150 of Friday's 36 calls. This tactic is I'm more or less neutral to bearish on volatility. I'm using calls, and it's a spread. This is a bear call spread. It's also a credit spread. I think when the email went out, I had 17 cents. It looks like you can get 18 cents for this spread, so I'd go 18 plus or minus 2 cents. I'd go as low as 16 to get filled on this trade, and then all the way up to 20. And if I do get it filled at 18 cents, I'd probably use 36 cents as my eject, meaning we want all 18 cents, right? We want that to go in our pocket by Friday. If it starts going up to 25, 30, 36 would be the point where I'm like, I scratch my chin and go, why is volatility still going up? Should I eject from the trade? Why? Because I don't want to take this max loss of $4,800. So right now at 18 cents, I could probably do 160 contracts on this at 18 cents. Let me see. Yeah, 160 contracts gives you $5,100 in risk for a potential $2,900 gain. And look at the metrics here, guys. 52% probability of a max profit of $2,900 in 4 days. 42% probability of $5,100 loss. And then look at this, a coin flip on the break even. The break even's all the way up there at 35.68. Okay. And we're most likely, maybe I did this trade a little early, but I gotta get mobile here. We're going to have this mid-afternoon sell-off and vol's going to go up, but I fully expect, guys, this is a tactical trade. You don't want to sit here every day and watch it. I'm saying by Friday, this thing is below 35.5. Now, you should set in your profit targets, right? 7, 8, 9. If I see a 70, 80, 90% profit on the credit that I took in, so if I take in a credit of $2,900, if I'm seeing, anywhere a profit north of $2,000 all the way up to, $2,800, I close the trade, right? 70, 80, 90% profit on the credit that I took in. Is time for me to take the money and run, especially when you're short volatility. You're running around in front of a steamroller here with your Superman cape on, picking up dimes, and the steamroller's volatility. Okay, being short volatility is not for the faint of heart if you just look at it, but also you look at this. Remember last time we smashed through this 200-day moving average. We chopped and we had these rip your face off rallies above it, and then we imploded. So fully expecting that's what we do again. Fully reserve the right to be completely wrong. We could absolutely head lower. We could hear more bad news out of China, Iran doing something, more shit show in Washington. Just absolute swamp. Disgustingness in our political system. I'm furious at what's going on here, and I'm embarrassed to say I live down there in Broward County. It's an absolute joke that lady needed to be thrown in jail. Once again, proving that you can break the law as long as you're a Democrat. Nothing's going to happen to you. Hillary Clinton over the weekend, it was reported that she's going to run for president again. How can the woman run for president when she's in jail? The woman should be in jail. And buried in the election shit show last week was a report that Jim Comey used his Gmail for government business and a lot of sensitive classified information. No wonder the dude cleared her in the email thing, because he was doing the exact same thing. Nobody cares, guys. Nobody cares. It's awful what's going on in this country. Anyway, let's try and end on a high note. Good looking trade, 18 cents, the 35.5, 36 bear call spread. Like I said, I'm meeting with my techie later today, trying to figure out what's going on with our texting system so we can start hitting on all cylinders. But like I said, the emails are firing, and it looks like everybody's got a hell of a lot more better deliverability than the text. So I'm going to get going. Have a great rest of your day. Happy hunting. Make sure you hedge, and I'll be back with tomorrow's SITREP situation report, and also an update on our primary live trade brief positions, and also potentially new primary live trade brief trade. Happy hunting. Make sure you hedge, and I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. We'll see you.